Good day, dear listener, and welcome aboard the Ozma. We have an exciting show planned for you, but before we get too far, a word to the wise. Though Project Ozma is considered to be a comedy, the humor involved is known to contain swearing, allusions to sexual themes, as well as themes of minor violence. A more in-depth description of this content as well as the transcript can be found in the description. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy today's episode.
And there we were, right outside of a big, intimidating door. Beautiful architecture, sure, whatever. What was more impressive was the sheer mass of it all. This giant fuck was built large enough for, well, giants, to put it bluntly. That alone made me wonder how large some of these aliens were going to be. The book didn't mention specific heights of the different races. I don't think. I wasn't exactly looking for that anyways. Or reading the book at all, which wasn't 100% by choice. The damn ride wasn't as long as Reed made it out to be, so Quinn and I got lost in a trip down memory lane rather than gearing up to deal with whatever would be waiting for us behind the mega door. You ready?
As I'll ever be. Come on.
The two of us had barely taken a step away from our pop when the giant doors swung open in a really slow-ass dramatic way. But it made me feel so giddy. This was exciting, I'll admit it, especially after living through the actual space travel. But I certainly wasn't expecting to see two little robots waiting our arrival.
Welcome aboard the Ozma.
We are so pleased to meet you.
Thank you. As the two robots fell into a low bow, or as low as weird hinge-centrilocal robots could bow, I realized I never even glanced at the etiquette section of Reed's stupid book. Quinn, what's the protocol for robots? Do I reciprocate? Do I ignore them? What do I do?
I don't know.
Don't know? You're the brains of the operation. What do you mean you don't know? Oh, I'm just gonna bow back.
Percy, I don't think as a ruler that's something you'd... Or do whatever you want. I guess as a queen you can, of course, but what would I know?
Shit.
Error. Response not recognized. Error. Response not recognized. Error. Response not recognized.
Fuck, what do I do?
I don't know.
Oh, thank God. Another ruler's come to help. Your Grace.
Again with the bowing.
Ah, you must be Queen Persephone of Earth. I am the station's head bot, AI. May I ask, is it a normal practice on Earth to bow to your servers?
Only if they show you a good time?
Oh, pardon? I didn't quite catch that.
Nothing, but I'm just surprised. You said you're a serving bot?
Yes, just like these smaller, rather erratic ones behind you.
That's amazing. I swore you were one of the other leaders.
My creator designed me to look more alive, but I assure you, I am as much metal and wires as these two little ones. And if you don't mind, I need to reset them.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry for making them crazy. I hope I didn't break them.
You've nothing to apologize for, Your Highness. A bit of rebooting will fix them up in no time. Nothing I cannot handle.
Wow, so the have you tried turning it off and on again thing is pretty universal, huh?
I am sorry, but I do not understand what you're referring to.
Oh, well, on Earth, if we have an electric thing that's not working, we can call these IT guys, and the first thing they'll ask is it plugged in? And of course it is. So then they'll ask, have you tried turning it off and on again? And again, duh.
So there are other humans that you can get into contact with regarding electronic devices. The creators of them? Whenever you require their assistance?
Sort of. It's not always the creator of the device, because if it were, I'd have a few words for jobs about user-friendliness in Apple.
Yes. I suppose so, ma'am.
Your Highness, I sincerely doubt that while iPhones are incredible devices, that AI here would know or understand what that is.
You are correct, miss.
Well, just know that even though you own the thing, you can't do the things.
But calling Jobs the creator would change this?
Probably not. Have to get like some sort of martial law or something. That whole democracy and no monopolies thing.
Yes. Well, I imagine you two had a good flight.
Yes, we survived.
Yes, I can see that. I'm glad the accommodations were acceptable. At the end of your trip, we can devise better ways to ensure that next year's trip will be even more satisfactory.
Oh, yes. Next year.
We look forward to it.
Wonderful. If you'll allow, I'd like to give you your translators now, so you can adjust their settings and before sending you to the sanitation room.
Translators?
Sanitation room?
Yes, here on the Ozma, we bots are programmed to speak and understand all spoken languages that we will encounter. However, many of the rulers prefer to speak in their natural tongue, though many of them are multilingual. These devices allow you to converse comfortably with anyone present at the conference. You simply need to input your language on the side, which I've done for you, then insert them into your ears.
Neat. These kind of look like the wireless Bluetooth piece that you wear when you're driving so you don't kill anyone.
Yes, Your Highness, I can see the resemblance.
Well, why don't we take this baby for a spin? Tell me something in another language, AI.
All right. Well, how are you doing today?
Well, that was anticlimactic.
The sets are in both your ears, miss.
True.
These translators will translate any language, as I've said, but you're both very lucky to get to try these new ones out for a spin. With Earth not visiting for over 50 years, you've missed many an upgrade.
What makes these so special? Did the older model confuse swear words or something?
The issue was with literal translations.
That's bad?
Unfortunately so. For example, if you had said, they kicked the bucket,
Then the listener would assume that someone had physically kicked a bucket and not passed away.
Exactly. This also caused much confusion if someone mentioned their planet's flora or fauna. This is much easier.
How so?
Previously, you and I might have been discussing livestock back on our home planets, and I might talk about how the meat of the kuzik is the tastiest of all creatures.
And a kusik is a...
Essentially, it is very similar to what your planet would call a cow, thus making this new version incredibly helpful, and in future conversations you will simply hear it as cow.
Cool.
Very. However, there will be things that just don't translate, like planetary names and people's names in general.
Glad to know I won't be surrounded by Bobs and Steves.
Correct. But aside from those pronouns, flora, fauna, idioms, and so on, we'll find the closest translation.
Wait, pronouns?
Yes. Your language seems somewhat limited and only seems to use a masculine and feminine set of pronouns, despite many of our leaders stretching beyond that.
Dope! I knew we were doing it a little wrong on Earth. Hopefully we can bring back some of this knowledge to change it.
While it seems like a very prosperous and forward-thinking idea, Your Highness, we have to consider cultural appreciations across the planet and the reception of alien terminology.
Yes, well, are there any immediate questions I can answer?
Nah, I think we're ready for the next step. You said sanitation? What, like a blast of UV or something?
Not quite. this will be a quick bath, if you will. There's been a nasty little bug causing trouble throughout the galaxy lately, but overall, the spreading of disease is not on the list of priorities here aboard the Ozma. If you'll follow me, please.
I would hope not. Hey, you're pretty lively for a machine.
My programming makes me more likable. Is it working?
Yeah, you seem pretty chill. I'd even say let's be friends, but I don't think robots can do that. Or if they can, we should be friends. What do you say, Quinn? Want to be friends with a robot?
I suppose.
Oh, my creator would be pleased to hear you say that. Just like the translators, I receive many upgrades in between conferences. Before we go any further, is there anything I can assist you with?
Nah, I think we're good.
Excellent. Please enter the door on your left, and an automated voice will give you further instructions. After sanitation, you will find more formal attire for you to change into once you're ready, and the rest of the new leaders will be waiting for you. I must go and assist the other new arrivals. I shall see you later.
Later. Well, what do you say, Quinn? Ready to be sanitized?
Why must you say it like that?
I like making things awful for you. Let's get this show on the road. It's so damn white in here. Are all sanitation rooms so white?
How many sanitation rooms have you seen?
Well, there was the one in Men in Black 2 where he has to get his memory restored, and then the thing in the Matrix. Wait, aren't those two guys the same actor?
I haven't seen the second Men in Black.
It's good. Wait, I think that guy was Elrond too. I wonder if...
Percy, now doesn't seem like the time to get into a film discussion.
Whatever, I'm just saying the walls are too white.
What color should they be?
Well, just think of it like this. See a sanitation room in the movies. White. At a hospital. White. I just think it'd be super cool if it was fucking blood red. I'm tired of this white bullshit.
Well, when they call you up for tips on remodeling the Ozma, you be sure to tell them.
You bet your ass I will.
Please disrobe.
Oh, what now?
They want to sanitize us. I imagine a shower is the easiest way.
Please disrobe.
I'm not really into disembodied voices telling me to take my clothes off.
Why? Because you've experienced this so often?
Like you've experienced anyone telling you to disrobe.
Please disrobe.
All right. Keep your pants on. Get it? Since we're taking ours off.
Percy.
You're such a fun killer, Quinn.
Thank you. Please dispense clothing into the chute ahead.
They better give me this shirt back. I stole it from my roommate this morning, and she'll kill me if I don't return it.
Incineration complete.
Oh, good. That's exactly what I wanted. Can't wait to survive this Ozma trip so my roommate can finish me off.
Activating showers. Please stand still. Sanitation process beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is freezing.
Please stand with appendages spread apart for maximum sanitation.
What kind of cruel monster made this torture device?
Stop being so overdramatic. It's not that cold.
Just because you went to some weird military academy where they hosed you down with cold water every day doesn't mean the rest of us did.
Would you stop bringing up the...
Sanitation complete.
Oh, thank God.
Please stand with appendages spread apart for your dry pass.
Oh, my glasses are all fogged up now.
Yeah, that's what happens when they encounter cold and then heat.
So you are admitting it was cold?
Percy, honestly.
Lenny, we have bigger problems now. I can't see.
Thank you for your cooperation. Suitable clothing will be found beyond the door to your left. Please exit the sanitation chamber.
Lead me to the door. I'm blind.
You're a pain in the ass, more like.
It's cold out here now. But at least I can see. Thanks for being my seeing eye dog, Quinny.
Must you do this every time you're slightly incapacitated?
Yep.
Glad to see some things never change.
Naturally. Now, not that I mind being BF naked, but AI mentioned something about suitable attire. What could they have meant by oh?
What is... oh?
We looked at the clothing selected for us. I certainly wouldn't call it suitable. Maybe, Renaissance fair is the more correct term. I guess if they're only going off of what they've gathered on humans from hearsay, but oh man. We'll have to educate them on what clothes are actually trending in this century. For me, AI had selected a long navy gown that looks straight out of a fantasy book, complete with silver circlet. Quinn, on the other hand, was gifted with very huntsman-esque attire, fitting for a guard, very video game-like.
Did AI check out some sort of Sir Arthur books for these looks?
If they had, I have a feeling you'd be a bit more knightly.
I suppose it is suitable for a queen, even if it's a little dated.
At least the underwear's more modern. I don't think free boobing is very suitable for a queen.
Free boobing?
Yeah, when you let your girls go free. Free boobing.
Where do you even come up with these things?
My magnificent yet complicated brain. Now then. I suppose we can't leave them waiting forever.
Unfortunately. Do you need any help putting on your dress?
Nah, it's just a slip over. It fits well for having 2 other sets of rulers that were due before me. Also, that could have been any gender. Do you think it's common for clothes to also not be strictly gendered?
It's possible, though I can't imagine any men in the 50s would be okay with wearing a dress.
Yeah, definitely not.
They could have made it after our pop landed or something. Or when we were in the showers and they could take your measurements.
Are you trying to imply that this place is full of peeping toms?
No, Percy, I think it'd be robotic.
You know that peeping toms are like the gateway to being a serial killer, right? No wonder previous attempts to get here ended in terrible murder.
Perce, that was years ago.
Well, who knows how long these aliens live for?
I think you're overreacting, Percy.
I think you're underreacting.
Can you have this freak out later? We should get going.
All right. I'm ready. You?
Let me pull my boots on.
Damn, bae, you looking fine.
It's the boots, I know. That dress looks good on you, too.
I don't hate it. I wish it had pockets, though.
Understandably. All right, let's get serious.
Got it? Serious mode activated.
We're about to enter a room full of other rulers. This is the moment we've prepared for.
You prepared for?
Percy.
I mean, I had 3 whole hours, so I feel super confident.
I know the circumstances are not favorable, but I really think we can do this.
Yeah, we got this.
I sure hope so, because Earth's counting on us. This is our last chance.
Hey, if I can pass the SATs and ACTs in 1 test day on 4 hours of sleep and 7 cups of coffee, I can handle anything.
I don't think this is quite equivalent.
I fought God behind a 7-Eleven, Quinn. I can handle anything. And besides, you chose this disaster to come along with you.
Don't make me regret it.
Project Ozma is a Goose Thunder Network produced podcast. Today's episode, The Welcome Mat, was written by Megan and Molly Rae and edited by Ylva, with sound editing by Hannah. Music was composed and performed by Benny James. The voices you heard in today's episode in order of appearance were Allison as Percy, Petra as Quinn and Serving Bot 1, M as Serving Bot 2, Benny James as AI, and Kelsi as the automated voice. Want to continue to stay up to date on all things Ozma? Follow us on Tumblr at Project-Ozma, on Instagram at Project Ozma Podcast, or on Twitter at Project Ozma.